The thoughts, views, and opinions expressed by this podcast, as well as its hosts, are for entertainment purposes only. The viewpoints expressed, although based on very real topics, are not to be taken as fact. With that being said, enjoy the show.
Hello, world. Hello, world. Hello, world. Welcome to Part in the Politics podcast. We back. I'm back. Really? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hello, world. Welcome to Part in the Politics podcast. We back. I'm back. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Really? Part in the Politics podcast. Hello, world. Welcome to Part in the Politics podcast, season 3. Episode 25. I am your co-host Jeezy. Along for the ride, I have my brother here, Manny. Brother, how you doing today?
Hey, we here. We are here. We're back.
Another episode, and along with the journey, we have our brother, our chairman of chaos, none other than himself, Brother Chuck. How you doing?
Really, brother, I'm feeling great, man. I'm a little chocolatey. not quite crunchy black.
Whoa.
What, man? I'm not quite crunchy black. Shout out 3-6.
Hey,
I'm here, brother.
Hey, I'm glad to have you brothers here. Before we even jump into the podcast, I cannot go forth without first saying Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.
To all the fathers, the present, active, dads, especially those within the brotherhood, those present, active black dads who are constantly doing the work of what's needed to provide for your children in more ways than one. Certainly hope that you enjoyed your day and it was not filled with socks and ties.
Yes, indeed. And look, I'm gonna pull out my favorite card, the black card. I just want to. I only say this because of the stereotype out there. Statistically, black fathers are in their children's lives and active and present in their children's lives more than any other ethnic group.
I'm sorry. That was that. How much? It was more.
More.
Okay.
More than.
Hey,
yeah, I ain't even gonna confuse him with the direction of the symbol. And we ain't even gonna worry about that. But just know it's more than.
Some folks didn't pass, brother. Some folks didn't pass.
Yeah, they didn't. But I only bring that up because I just want to say, in our circle, it's without question. You're not gonna be in my circle if you're not handling your responsibilities first and foremost.
Yes.
And if you come up slacking, you will hear about it.
Yes, sir.
We will hear about it. So shout out to the dads, man, and the father figures, not the mamas and the bearded dragons.
Hey,
and
or the handsome
uncles.
ladies.
Y'all had your day in May.
Yes.
Just
This time waits for us.
Just because you wear a white beater don't make you a daddy.
Or you got the Manny Fresh Afro.
Right.
It don't. Your hair may not move, but you ain't the daddy. So, but shout out to the father figures as well.
Yes,
those
sir.
men who step in, be it a coach, mentor. The male presence the male presence is definitely important. And we're not saying these things to diminish the presence of women, but y'all get y'all shine. We are trumpeting and uplifting the men in children's lives because regardless of what you may say, there's a different aspect that a man brings to not only their lives, but all situations, all circumstances. And sometimes you got to just look at your children. When their daddy enters the room or enters a space, that behavior changes up immediately.
Yes, sir.
Every time.
Yes, sir.
Unless he get ran over and he a punk. But yeah, so shout out, gentlemen. Salute to you two, man.
Yes, sir.
I'm not gonna say I envy you because I don't, because y'all got little kids. And although we come to the end of that road in my house,
yes, sir.
But and y'all both got all girls.
All girls, man.
Yeah, I definitely don't envy that.
All girls, brother. Hey,
double salute.
Pray for us, brother. Just pray for us. Pray for us.
Double salute.
Brothers, again, happy Father's Day. And Chuck made an excellent point. You know, it's a lot of men who biologically may not have children. They may be mentors. They may be father figures like coaches that are just as important and just as instrumental in shaping the lives of so many. And, you know, I have made it a point of mine for Father's Day to not just single out just those who have contributed biologically to bringing children here, but those who have stood in the gap. There are some coaches, there are some mentors, there are some people that have, teachers. I mean, oh my gosh, teachers. Yes. I mean, that have really stood in the gap and done some tremendous things for kids who biologically are not tied to them, and they deserve just as much salute and praise on this day. So,
and not the coach who not the coach taking advantage of the relationship with the mama. We ain't talking about y'all.
Yeah, bruh. Yeah, nah, bruh.
We ain't talking about filling in that gap.
Yeah, I mean, take them to get a haircut. Yeah, what you doing? What your mama doing this Saturday night? Nah, bro, not you. You need to go somewhere and sit down.
The struggles that I think black dads kind of go through in this generation of having to provide, while the expectation of providing, on top of healing, on top of dealing with all the craziness that happens in the world and all the silent battles that we all fight. You know, I just want all our listeners to know that we hope you all win the battles that you're not talking about.
Facts.
Because they all come, we all have them. Just know that we are all rooting for you, because everyone has their battle. No one will tell you that they are battle free. We all have something we're fighting, whether we talk about it or not. But we hope, we pray that you all not only win your battle, but you come out with a stronger testimony on the other side from that battle.
Manny trying to get a collection plate going on. Right. I see you, brother. Amen.
Take me to the waters. But all true. And for those dads out there, as we say at the end of the podcast, if don't nobody love you, just know the boys here at the pod do. For those dads, whether you hear it enough or not, just know if you're out there and you're doing the best you can, even when it may feel like it's not enough, hey man, just keep going. Keep going. Fight the good fight.
Yes, sir.
Well, welcome back, listeners, and we hope this episode finds you in the best place possible as we break down, again, a bunch of nonsense and chaos that is taking place. Welcome to the circus, and bring out the clowns, because it's another week of nothing but pure chaos and political treachery afoot.
So the best way to say it,
So we're gonna open this week. We're gonna take it overseas. We're gonna hop on the plane and we're gonna hop on the jet and go overseas to where the G7 summit has wrapped up in France. That happened between June the 15th through the 17th. So the G7 summit is made up of the United States, Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, and the United Kingdom, and the European Union. And these are some of the world's biggest democratic economies. And when they meet, they usually means that the world has a lot going on at once. So that definitely, if you've been paying attention and stayed awake halfway through the class, you can understand that it's definitely the case with this year. The summit covered Ukraine, it covered Russia, they covered China, global supply chains, critical materials, AI, migration, drug trafficking, health issues, and the future of economic cooperation. But the real headline is this: the summit actually went smoother than expected. Now, if you're listening, that probably sounds simple, but in today's politics, smoother than expected is basically diplomatic code for nobody flipped over a chair or table and everybody walked out in one piece.
No fist fights.
No fist fights. Nobody threw any birdies, no middle fingers. Everybody, they left how they came. So a lot of attention was on Trump, of course. We know that happens whenever Trump's on the scene and he's within the room. But a lot of attention was on Trump because his relationship with traditional allies has always been complicated. That's nothing new. But according to reporting, diplomats kept using the word convergence to describe the summit, meaning leaders were relieved that Trump was cooperative, actually, and that the meeting did not turn into open conflict. So the question goes is, did the G7 show real unity, or did world leaders just pull and put on a good show because the world is too unstable for them to look divided? So just before we get into the unity of the G7, the summit produced multiple joint statements, and I want to share some of those. The official G7 EU release says that leaders discuss international peace and security, global economic stability, growth, emerging technology, critical materials, and things of that nature. That matters because joint statements are the official reason of what these countries are willing to agree on publicly. And that public agreement is important because the G7 is trying to send a message to Russia. They're trying to send a message to China, Iran, and the rest of the world that major diplomatic economies are still trying to move together. But here's the tension. The world is not as simple as it used to be. The U.S. has its own political chaos. Europe is dealing with security concerns. Japan is watching China closely. And Canada and the EU are worried about trade. And every country at the table has domestic voting asking, why are we spending money and time overseas when we have problems here at home? So unity is the goal, but unity is also fragile. So Manny, do you think the G7 unity is real? Or is it basically like taking a Christmas family picture after you've been arguing in the car on the whole ride home?
Yes.
Uncomfortable.
Yes. Both are completely true in this standpoint. I mean, it's a big question. And I think when you look at the global economy.
Yeah.
And how much that has dramatically changed, you have the income equality that we're seeing globally. You know, you're not just here in the U.S. You have people really just trying to rationalize on what value is this bringing to me here at the bottom. And we're not seeing it. So now you're seeing more and more of these questions by more and more of these economies of like, hey, we just spent X amount over here, but if we took the $60 billion we spent over here and we invested in this program, completely, this problem is maybe not solved, but dramatically different where it looks right now. So you keep asking people to make these investments. You know, every time the U.S. spends money overseas, and I want to be clear, I'm not in any way saying we should stop foreign aid, because it is clear that every dollar that we spend in foreign aid is preventing something downstream from happening that's larger. You know, you prevent starvation in one area, you're saving off a whole uprising against a government that you might like. So that's the balance. Now, do I think that a lot of these countries are starting to have to work with each other? I think that's the weird balance of this, because with the U.S. stepping out of our historical of the post-World War II, when I say historical, stepping out of that leadership standpoint of calling all the shots and being the world police, it's forced the rest of the G7 to start working with each other more closely. So like where you're having Canada trying to do the deal that they did with China around EVs, you're having these other countries starting to have to facilitate more of the things on their own. That's driven some of these other, relationships stronger. So I think it's been a balance through that. Are there challenges? Yeah. Do they keep getting more complicated? Absolutely. But I think it's a balance. I don't think anyone's particularly happy nor comfortable. And it's funny, you said like, hey, this thing went according to plan. It still doesn't mean it went well. There was they just missed any unknown landmines. We knew heading into the G7 that things could blow up. No one knew what was coming out of any of the sectors at any time. Russia and Ukraine could pop off at any time. The U.S. and Iran are still dealing with what we're doing. Israel and Lebanon are still doing. No one knew what could happen. And I think largely, if you look globally, we were also very quiet in comparison to what the last several months had been. Nothing unknown took place.
I would like to say I agree, my brother, but I would change the description up a little bit. Okay. It's not the family taking it is the family taking the picture after the big argument and the whole car ride. However, this is 2026. Mm-hmm. We can alter this photo with AI to make it look
I like
how we want it to look.
I like that
because Manny knocked it out the park. Like this was very. I'm not gonna say it was pomp and circumstance, but what really came out of this? Like, what did we? There was there was something that came out of this. We will discuss that a little later. But from a G7 and a holistic approach of obtaining a full-on goal and marking a task off the board as completed, where we have a set plan in place to move forward with something specific. It was concepts of a plan.
And I think it's complicated. It's complicated for the G7 because the G7 isn't like it's not a homecoming. No. We're not going to do anything official. We're going to talk. We're going to put out some statements. We're going to announce this is Trump's arena because this for the G7 is them announcing concepts of plans.
But here's the problem with that. Yes, it's Trump's arena, but it's also the arena that Trump has ruined.
Also facts.
Because to the point you were saying, each country is moving in a space to set their own deals and deal with their own issues. The China-Canada deal came about because Trump said, screw our neighbors to the north. Mm-hmm. There's a bridge that was built, literally, not a figurative bridge, a literal bridge that was built that he actually commissioned and signed off on the deal in his first administration, where they, I can't remember what country in Canada, agreed to foot most of the costs, and then we would split the tolls between, the countries. And essentially the deal worked out to where we saw the great benefit of this. That bridge still is not open yet because of the issues that he wanted to push and block on this deal. Like, give him his props. You helped facilitate and set up a sweet deal.
Yep.
Because Canada footed the cost of building this, but they said, hey, we'll split this money with you, because they knew what would be able to help come over that bridge in commerce for them, that we can afford to cut, split toll costs with you and eat the cost of this bridge. Yep. Now you have that in jeopardy. Okay. You ruined your relationship with France to the point where Ukraine. Well, I'll say Ukraine first. You ruined the relationship with Ukraine. They stopped intel coming from the U.S. They cut that tie, and relying on Europe, predominantly France, to get their intel. And we could talk about what's happening with Ukraine and Russia a little bit. But ever since they cut that tie, things have looked up.
Ain't been the same.
Things have looked up for Ukraine. You have a strained relationship with France. You have a strained relationship with Japan because of what you've been doing in relation to Taiwan and China. You came back from China, kind of backpedaling.
A different song.
A whole different song. Now Japan's like, okay, now we got to keep an eye on China, but we also got to watch what's going on in Washington because you moving shaky. Then you had the king come over to the U.S. and speak
lecture.
That's a perfect. I would say speech. Lecture is the perfect
lecture
word.
you in your own house.
Lecture about unity to the U.S. Unity. The King of England gave a lecture about unity. So when you have this G7, everybody's like, okay, what is going to be that moment? Where are things? When is that kid going to throw a tantrum? It's that bad kid that comes in that everybody know at some point they're going to throw a tantrum. And he didn't throw a tantrum, so everybody was like, whew. Thank God.
Missed that. But I think on top of that, I think one other way I think you could also describe this is not necessarily the G7. You could almost call it the G6 in the United States. Because if you look at interest there and you look at Europe, when we talk about the AI front, there's two horses in that race, and that's the U.S. and China. And with the way, again, with how countries are now looking a little bit sideways at the United States, you look at the AI race and how the U.S. has basically closed China out of its own chips. Those in Europe have said, whoa, you could do that to us.
They were already feeling that way when, now granted, and it has been brought up on the pod before, we agree that these countries need to handle their own military defense. You need to step up. Yeah. But when you isolate allies who have been long-standing allies, not, hey, bolster your defense, because bolstering your defense will help defend you, but more so, hey, I'll put you out here on the island if I have to. You're weakening that bond. And not only are you weakening that bond, to your point that you're going down, Manny, if they did this to us on the defense front, what would they be willing to do in another arena? Yeah. So you're right.
And it's like a whole, if I sit and I look in hindsight of, well, I guess current sight, because it's still going on right now. If you look at the Trump quote unquote strategy, I think the U.S. has always been in a position up until this last administration of saying, hey, we're watching our number two, we're watching China, and we're going to make a coalition of us and other people to make sure that China doesn't take a real shot at us. And that's how they manage it. Trump has largely stepped into all of this. And I think you see that with his attitude at these events is, well, I'm just going to try to be friends with China so they don't try to take us out. And I don't know if that works politically. It does not appear to be working politically. Like maybe you buy some time, but like China's got its eyes on the number one spot. Because what did Xi come out and say? China's been here for 5,000 years. We plan to be here for another 5,000 years.
Yep. They're shooting for the number one spot, and Donald Trump is playing money games. Yeah. And it's sad because that's all he sees. He's not being diplomatic. He's not being strategic. He's seeing how he can be most benefited from a financial standpoint. That's why he was over there soft shoeing and tap dancing during that trip and not standing firm in any stance. He has not stood firm in any stance outside of a financial aspect. And so in this, how can I play both sides of the fence? Because, I can't really say we're going to come together to stop China, because then that messes up potential money-making deals. And here's the sad part. It's about how much money him and his family can make. Right. Not financially what would be most beneficial for America.
Because we're not even in a position to be able to really actually fight China.
No, Iran showed us that.
Right. Oh, I wasn't even talking about militarily, but absolutely militarily.
Any aspect right now.
But like economically, manufacturing, China makes everything.
Yeah, let's not talk about manufacturing, because if you talk about manufacturing, when the factories come back, all you black people, if you ain't got no job now, don't be mad. Donald Trump is hiring.
Bruh.
It's crazy.
We're showing a real vulnerability here as a country, and I think this G7 is continuing to show that other country realizes that the U.S. is vulnerable and not the world police, not the stabilizing force we were once known as, and the world is starting to respond accordingly. And
that's because of the leadership.
Yep.
Simply put, it's because of the leadership. If we had more formidable and worthwhile leadership, I think if it was a facade, I think we could still hold the facade. But the world sees, and you see it time and time again in the chants. You see it time and time again in the protests. Shoot, the Aussies in the World Cup had their fans had chants solely directed at Donald Trump, because when you have poor leadership, you have poor direction.
Simple as that. Well, I think go ahead, man.
No, you go ahead. I think on that point, Chuck, the World Cup is showing that more and more. And I think the most dangerous thing that can happen is that for people around the world to realize that it's not the people versus the people. It's really our leaders against the leaders, because people from Europe and whatnot having the time of their lives right now.
The time of their lives. I'm having the time of my life.
I can only imagine what it's like as a full-grown adult to have Waffle House for the first time. I can't recreate that thought in my mind of having Waffle House when all I've been able to eat for breakfast is potatoes, toast, and beans, and I go from that and the beauty of
liver mush
and go to have breakfast hibachi, where I can have my grits and eggs and my hash browns smothered and covered. Like what?
All-star scrambled with cheese.
What?
Grits.
Shout out to Waffle House, man.
I need cheese in my grits.
With some sausage patties. Oh yeah, cheese grits for sure.
Yes, sir.
My Lord.
Waffle House is probably one of the greatest food institutions in America.
An American delicacy.
Bruh. Shout out to Waffle House. Shout out to Waffle House.
Give Waffle House a Michelin star.
They deserve it. They deserve it.
I agree.
I mean, but think about it. Have you ever gone to the Waffle House and said, "This is a horrible meal. I'm never coming back"?
Never.
No.
Ever.
Never.
I don't care what time of day it was. Ever. Right. From 7 a.m. to 5 a.m.
5 a.m.
Hey, shout out to Frank. I got to give Frank a shout out, y'all. Because me and Frank would go to Waffle House. This is the first time I ever seen somebody do this. Frank would get the pork chop meal.
Yep.
I can't remember the
Frank, the only one I know to get the pork chop meal.
OG would get it too every once in a while, but Frank consistently got the pork chop meal. But what tripped me out is Frank would get some tomato and lettuce on the side and say he get his vegetables.
Oh, bro, that's that old spirit in him.
That's that old spirit.
Gotta get the roughage.
And I feel like everybody has a Waffle House story. Like I still remember, my graduation party.
Oh yeah.
If any of our listeners ever get the chance to come out and party with me, I'd like to partake in the libations. And G's, being the good brother and friend that he is, he took my wallet. He said, "Manny, and we made this agreement while I was 100% sober."
Yes.
When I tell you that I was getting ready to fight Jeezy over the location of my wallet outside of a Waffle House, that shit was in my pocket the entire time.
It was in your pocket.
Yeah, giving it back when we got in the car.
Bro.
I said, let's go eat.
Secured on your hip and was adamant that the location of his wallet was not where I said it was. But Waffle House is a great establishment with many memories that every American, and now those that have come over for the World Cup, can make their own. So shout out to Waffle House. I know our listeners, Waffle House was not a topic at the G7.
Was not.
So y'all know. It was not discussed.
But we're going to give our flowers.
We took y'all on a little detour, so hope you enjoyed that ride. But we're back with the G7, and you guys both mentioned two countries, and one of them I want to bring up, and that is Ukraine. The official G7 geopolitical statement says that leaders remain united in unwavering support of Ukraine as it defends its freedom, its sovereignty, and territorial integrity. And it also specifically mentions that Ukraine's critical infrastructure and cultural heritage is being attacked. So that's important because Russia's strategy has not just been battlefield fighting. Russia has also been targeting their power grids. They've been attacking their energy systems, civilian infrastructures, and those basic symbols of Ukrainian identity. So when the G7 talks about Ukraine, it's not only about weapons. It's about whether Ukraine can survive as a functioning nation. One part of it that they mentioned I thought was very interesting, that they also discussed, there was discussion of Ukraine producing Western weapons under license. And that could be a big deal long term because Ukraine would not have to depend only on waiting for shipments. It could build more of what it needs inside the country. Now, the political angle here in all of this, and the curveball that we see oftentimes is a curveball called Trump. Trump's tone at the summit was watched very closely because he has been more skeptical of open-ended Ukraine aid in the past. But it's being reported that Trump warmed up to Ukraine's war aims at the G7, and the leaders backed Ukraine while planning more pressure on Russia. So Ukraine came out and came away from this G7 with some public support. But the question is whether the public support turns into consistent long-term action. So with that, Chuck, when Americans hear more support for Ukraine, do they think that do you think they see the bigger picture of stopping Russia, which is the ultimate goal that has been stated, or do they mostly just hear more money leaving America? And we know that that's also been an issue for some Americans when they view this as well.
You know, I think the average sensible thinking American, which would much rather provide financial and some equipment support to Ukraine versus
boots on the ground,
this Iranian war and the lives that have been lost in this conflict. You heard some bemoaning of aid to Ukraine, but I promise you, if you put it before them, what would you rather have? Us providing them with support from afar, and we're not directly involved, no service members involved,
no equipment, really?
No, yeah, just some military equipment here and there, but nothing major. They will pick that all day long, especially knowing that the cost is, because we're getting hit on the cost front two different ways with this Iranian conflict. Not only are our tax dollars are being spent to fund this, but then we're coming out of our pockets directly with the increased cost of goods, services, and gas. There was a slight fluctuation up and down with gas early on in the conflict with Russia and Ukraine, but the oil coming from that area does not impact us nearly as much as what has been impacted with Iran shutting down the Strait of Hormuz and the different bombings and different things that have thrown things off. So, yeah, if I can shoot them a couple bucks and shoot some missiles over here or some drones there or some artillery there and not really be involved, why not? Because if I remember correctly, when people used to talk about the cost of how much we're giving to Ukraine, I think when they broke the number down, I think it was like 1% of the national defense spending.
Yeah.
1%. Like, if we add these numbers up, we ran up a tab against Iran
in the first couple weeks,
far exceeding anything that we gave to Ukraine. So, yeah, by all means, like, sure, we don't necessarily want to be involved in, certain conflicts, because I support the notion of America first. Sing it jokingly, sweep around your own front door, but I truly believe in that, because just said it. There's so many different issues that we have here on our own front that we need to address and deal with instead of trying to carry the weight of everyone else. However, I do understand from the standpoint of our security, but furthermore, the relationship that we have with NATO to back Ukraine.
Yeah.
Because truly, as we've seen already, if Russia gets what they want with Ukraine, they're going to Poland next.
Who's next? What's next?
What's next? So in that aspect, yeah, it's in our interest to provide some aid. And I can tell you who we could take some aid from to put towards Ukraine.
And Chuck, I think when we talk about Ukraine, especially in the context of the G7 at this point, everything you said, I agree with tenfold. But I think this is also the first time we've heard Trump say that Russia needs to come make a deal.
Yeah, outright.
And that is something that I think if you rewind the clock, and I think some of this you can credit to the war in Iran is like, oh yeah, this war has costs. Yeah. Like, so I think it's interesting that the U.S. is willing to at least entertain conversations of another country producing U.S. military systems for themselves. I think that's something we watch closely. But if you also look at the rest of the G7 and going back to what we said earlier about everything kind of going to plan, everyone else at the G7, it's in their interest that Ukraine is supported.
Yes.
So it's like, if 8 of us want to talk about if 6 of us want to talk about a topic and only I don't want to, I'm just going to chill and let them have the conversation and then hop in where I need to. But I think we're understanding the true cause here. And I think with Trump saying Russia should make the deal, almost you got to think it's playing in the back of Trump's head. Well, at least I would hope it's been playing in the back of Trump's head.
I was about to say,
sorry.
Ain't no telling what's playing back there.
But like, if I'm going to Iran, I think Trump says is in his head, if I'm trying to make a deal with Iran and I'm the bigger person, because I think that's how he sees it at this standpoint, then it's either Russia needs to be the bigger person here and try to make a deal. This thing has gone on eons longer than all of us thought this could.
And let me tell you, Ukraine just turned it up because what they're doing to Moscow,
bro. Those videos that came out, man, I was like, like it's one thing to be touched, like to put up this ego thing that I'm untouchable, but no, you not only you getting touched, you get hands put on you right now.
But I think it's also one of those things with Ukraine where if you watch mixed martial arts, if you watch fighting, I wrestled in high school. What they would tell, especially the light heavyweight and heavyweight classes, if you run up to someone who is bigger than stronger than you, part of your strategy is just survive. They're expending so much energy, so much capital. The longer this goes on, that if you can just survive, you can get through the night.
That good old rope-a-dope.
Yep.
And Ukraine's done
that's
that.
what Ukraine's been doing that,
taking those hits and saying, okay, we're responding. And the way they've modernized how they're going to fight.
Oh, bro.
The chaos that they unleashed on Russia with those drones.
Those drones was
chaotic. But I think it'll be interesting because if we end up allowing Ukraine to manufacture U.S. weapons for their own defense, the rest of the NATO is probably going to look, well, if you license this to them.
Can I get mine?
Can I do this?
Can I do
this? Yeah. Can I do this? And I think it'll be interesting on those licenses, what they license. Because my understanding of how a lot of military aid happens in terms of weaponry is, cool, I'm not sending you this 2025 model of the Patriot missile. I'm sending you my 1998 version. So which version do they allow?
They definitely not giving them the 2025, 2026. You're going to get, look, what Windows are we on now? Is it Windows 11?
Maybe.
Oh, yes, sir. So. Y'all are Mac guys.
Yeah, I'm about to say,
Okay, what is it? Mac?
Which is a wild statement when you think about it, and me for as long as I was.
Okay, what is it? They're on 25 or 27 on OS?
So, yep.
Okay, so you're gonna get OS 20.
I was about to say 1920.
1920, yeah. For the Mac.
You get Windows 95.
Yeah. Ooh, I was going to at least give them
98 or 98 or ME.
You could take it back.
Don't give
them the Macintosh with the floppy disk. that was really going to be over quick.
I was going to say, I almost gave them Windows Vista, but I ain't.
Oh my God.
They'll be done. They'll be done. What was the one right before Vista that was so great? And
XP.
Was it? XP. That's what
Windows XP, man.
Yeah, Windows XP was amazing.
That was that was great.
They'll give them Windows XP. They won't get Windows 11 with the touchscreen.
Too much firepower.
Yeah. You can't get on our level, but we're gonna give you some help because XP is very strong.
I think it is so important for Europe and NATO, big participants in this summit, that this is a subject, because if Russia takes Ukraine, it's going after someone else.
And it also helps. Oh, he's been very clear.
Yep.
But
like he wants the Soviet Union back
for sure. USSR, but it benefits the U.S. to license out the manufacturing of these weapons because, one, it cuts down your costs. Two, it forces them to be self-reliant. Hey, y'all got this. We gave y'all this. You can defend yourself. And you go from there. If we need to step in, we can step in to help you, but you have foundationally what you need to defend yourself. And that's all we're saying. Step up and defend yourself.
And I think the third thing that it also does there, it genericizes it. Because we saw, again, what I said earlier, what we saw Ukraine do with $500 drones. What I think other countries have the capabilities of doing, and look at some of these U.S. plans and be like, oh, this is a $20 million missile? Well, if I change X, Y, and Z, or the U.S. didn't give me what X, Y, and Z is, and I had to fill in the blank here, cool, this went from a $20 million missile to a $50,000 missile, and the U.S. is going to be like, huh? Oh, that's how you did it? Cool. And then we cut down our costs.
Hey, what kind of drone you think it was? You think they were DJI?
Had to be. Had to be. Had to be.
Sorry, y'all. I had to nerd for a second.
So I think that's a good point that both of you are making. And, when you think about that cost, going back to the question that we had, foreign policy is also about preventing something more expensive later. So, if you can do it now and prevent something more expensive later, I think that'd be the easiest thing to do. Right. Sometimes the bill you refuse to pay now becomes a bigger bill down the road. And that's something we have to realize when it comes to Ukraine. And I think when you look and see how Ukraine has been able to stand in this fight and stay in this fight with the level of resources they have, think about if they had 100% of what they really needed.
The
heart is there, right? The heart is there. The boys can fight.
They'll run Putin up out of there.
I mean, but it goes to show. So, I think at least for Ukraine to have that public support coming out of the G7 and having a little bit warming of a touch from Trump on his stance with Ukraine, I think that's big for them, and especially in the position that they're in now, because we've seen Ukraine be able to kind of take a step forward and say, okay, you've had us try to push us against the wall, but look, we're coming out of that corner, and we've been able to, and especially when you think about some of the intel they've been able to receive and what's helped them to be more beneficial and strategic in how they've approached this war. Russia, you might not wanted to hear them warming up with this support.
Believe that.
You might be like, okay. So I think that's very interesting for Ukraine and coming out of that. But again, we know that the G7, a lot of things can be said up front, but what long-term consistency will Ukraine see? The other country that came out of the G7, and I think it was the quiet giant in the room, and you guys have mentioned this country again, is China. China is not always the loudest topic, but it may have been probably the most important long-term issue. The G7 talked about global economic imbalances, overproduction, subsidies, supply chains, and economic cohesion. And I know that all sounds boring to a listener, but I'm gonna translate it for you. Basically, the G7 is worried that China can use its economy as a weapon. China can flood markets with cheaper goods. China can dominate manufacturing. China can control supply chains. And China can put pressure on countries that depend too much on Chinese materials, factories, and technology. So when you think about this is where critical minerals come in. Critical minerals are materials used for EVs. They're used for batteries, phones, semiconductors, military equipment, energy systems, and advanced technology. So in other words, these are the materials that power the future economy. It is being reported that the G7 set up a critical minerals alliance and a crisis platform to cut reliance on any one supplier outside the G7 and partnership countries. So the goal is to reduce dependence on any single non-G7 supplier of rare earths and permanent magnets below 60% by 2030. And the actual goal is 50% as soon as possible. They did not say China's name outright directly, but come on, we know who they're talking about.
We know who you're talking about.
We know who you're talking about. So if China controls the supply chain for the materials needed to build the future, then China has what? Leverage over everybody else. So, Manny, is China the one issue where you think that Republicans and Democrats actually agree more on than they actually admit?
I think they have no choice. Like, if you look at the effects of globalization, and not to have this whole drawn out conversation, but it favored in the long term countries that had the capacity to produce for themselves plus. And everybody looked at China, and China said, send us your stuff, we will make it. And that's exactly what they've done. And now everyone's built a reliance, and we've built entire infrastructure based on that alliance. And not only just that alliance, it's that alliance with someone who's not aligned with you. Like, this is essentially the equivalent of I don't want to say it's the equivalent of buy black, but it's like, hey, focus on buying from your own communities. All these countries say, if you can't get it for yourself, get it from one of your friends. Don't go outside of this circle, even if it means spending a bit more. Now, the balance of that is companies love seeing graphs that go up and to the right.
To the right.
Facts.
We love seeing that. So that's counterproductive. And I think that's where you see some of these weird things like tariffs now all of a sudden being an option, because you're dissuading companies from having a chain that goes outside of the United States and thus some of our partners. Again, not here saying, hey, tariffs are a way to do this or a way that we should do this. But at some point, if you want to be able to do this long term, A, you have to build that infrastructure yourself, and B, you have to we have to say, you know what? I'm not going to buy product X that I can get for 5 cents. I'm going to buy this product that's $1 because I know it's investing here in the homeland. And I also know it's helping build our infrastructure. So maybe today it's $1, but hopefully a couple of years from now it's 50 cents or it's 25 cents.
Amen.
And yeah.
I hate to cut you off, brother.
Uh-oh.
But I got a question for you.
I don't have an answer. No, I'm kidding. What you got?
do you have that shiny cap next to you or close by?
I do. I keep that thing on me.
Yes, sir.
It's time.
It's time. My good brother, and like I said, I hate to cut you off, but I think it was necessary because pre-pod we discussed and realized we did not play that beautiful music in the last episode.
And that's wild. We had gone almost three seasons. I feel like we had one virtually every episode for 3 seasons.
Yeah, man. But here's the thing. China is not as earth mineral rich. They're not as astute as people are giving them credit for. But what they are good at is manipulation. And I say that because China has gone into Africa to secure relationships and deals to get these rare earth minerals. There is no place on earth that is more rich in these earth minerals than Africa. And had not the US, the UK, France, Germany, particularly France, I'm looking at you, had not been such pillagers of these countries and these minerals and screwing these people over, you would be in a position to set these relationships and deals, not having these countries working to kick you out, force you out, and make sure you stay out because you've been taking their minerals, their materials, selling it across the world and paying them pennies, if anything. So China said, hey,
we'll make
we
a
see
deal.
what's going on. Let's make a deal. We can flood some money into your economy, help bolster your economy. Just shoot us a little bit of that, what y'all got over there. We'll even shoot y'all the byproduct of these minerals and materials to help bolster your technology. China's just being a smooth criminal, if we want to say. Like, what we give China so much credit. And here's another Michael Jackson reference. Instead of looking at the man in the mirror. Because had you simply fessed up, apologize, and do right by those people, simple as that.
Completely different situation.
Completely different situation. However, you want to let your innate discriminatory actions and, quite frankly, racist behavior, because to go and take advantage of a group of people based off their ethnicity is racism. I don't care how you paint it. I don't care how you dress it up. Lipstick on the pig, it's still a pig.
Still a pig.
If you just did right by these people, you would be in a completely different situation.
Yep.
You wouldn't be in scramble mode because that's where we are. Straight scramble mode.
Yep.
Like, just do right.
It ain't that hard.
It ain't that hard.
But again, doing that for some organizations, some countries really would impact that up and to the right.
Oh, through the roof. Oh, what they say? To the moon.
To the moon. To the moon.
To the moon. And they very much can make it beneficial on both fronts, because not only are you getting what you need to help bolster your different sectors and your different areas, but you're also funneling and pushing money into their economy. Then in turn, you can go and broker a deal to provide them with a portion of this technology for a nominal fee, and you're helping each other out.
Mm-hmm.
You talk about a global economy. Let everybody, eat off this piece of the pie.
Yep.
But you're trying to take advantage of people as if. And see, I almost took us down the road where somebody might come knocking on my door. This is. Forget it. I'm the chairman of chaos. Here we go.
There you go.
Obama, we know you just opened your library. You know we give you your flowers for who you were, but this is my biggest gripe against you. Going after Gaddafi. Mm-hmm. Say what you want to say about him. He wanted to unify Africa. That was his messaging first and foremost. I can't say what he did in his country because I wasn't there. Whatever the human rights group, we know how news can be propaganda. Mm-hmm. But first and foremost, he wanted to unify the continent. We got the United States of America, and we have different coalitions within North America. The European Union has it.
Yep.
I'm sure there's something in Asia.
Why can't Africa?
Why can't Africa? I'm just questions that make you go,
And like I went and looked. And just grabbing random rare earth metals, bauxite, largest production, Guinea, chromium, South Africa, chromium reserves, Zimbabwe and Kazakhstan, and then South Africa and then India, cobalt, Congo, followed by Indonesia. Let me keep going. Copper, Chile, Congo, Peru. Mm-hmm. Graphite is, you finally see China, but that's only 2%, with only a 2% lead over Brazil, Madagascar, and Mozambique.
And we don't even use them type pencils no more.
Yeah. Lithium. Lithium is Australia, Chile, and then China. Magnesium, South Africa. I don't even know how you say this, but I'm gonna say this element really. Molybdenum is China, then Chile, then Peru, then United States.
Look it up.
Yeah. Nickel is Indonesia and the Philippines. But I think what the craziest thing behind all of this is that while you have all these places with all these reserves, China is very largely the country who refines it. They said, you find it, you send it to us, we'll refine it, and then we'll sell it.
We'll sell it, yep.
They control the supply chain of it all.
Alibaba.
Mm-hmm. So
it has a website.
Yeah.
I think it's Alibaba.
Yeah. No, Alibaba.
Yep.
But Chuck, to your point, like that's it. That's where China has built these relationships. And even if you go back and you look at all the Trump peace deals, that he's done in all these various places, you almost always see one of the things tied to it is the U.S. now gets access to your rare earth metals.
Yep.
Almost every single time.
Yep.
It's about building and setting up your supply chains. Mm-hmm.
And if China has that upper hand and leverage in it,
but I think that's the dangerous part about China is they've built an economy solely on exporting
based off of it. Yep.
Yeah.
So if everyone stops buying,
yep,
great, you can produce all this graphite, but if no one's there to buy it, or it's just saying I'm not buying it from you,
yeah,
then what you're going to
from
end
everybody
up,
else but you. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Like one of the things I saw about China's infrastructure is their hope I'm saying this right, but China's electrical grid capacity can hold up to 200% of what it has right now. The U.S., I think it's maybe like 115. You have all that extra capacity. What are you going to what are you going to do with that? It's great that you can sustain that, but if you're not having the manufacturing, if you're not having just general usage within your company to support all of that, what's the point of having it? So yeah, supply chains, man, tend to be important.
Hey, man. And one thing for me, being in the supply chain management field, you'd be surprised how many people don't understand how that works, not just from a micro perspective of what we see at home, but just from a global standpoint. And certainly for them to bring this up and this to be the quiet but loud topic in the room at the G7 shows you how important this is in the card that China is playing in that whole global market and how dangerous that could potentially be. So I think one of the most interesting parts of the summit was not just what the leaders discussed. I think it's about how they managed the personalities in the room. A lot of attention was on Trump because he has had a rocky history, as we've stated before, with the G7. It's reported that before the summit, homeboy, Emmanuel Macron, France. he shaped that whole agenda down to the T.
Yes, sir.
And he did that in part to keep Trump engaged, including a formal dinner that they had at Versailles. So it may sound small, but in diplomacy, this stuff like this matters. And I think he understood the mission of what he needed to do with Trump coming in town and trying to have this at least unified family picture look that this thing went smoother than expected. So diplomacy is not always just policy papers and treaties. Sometimes it's ego, and sometimes it's the symbolism. Sometimes it's knowing how to keep the most powerful people in the room invested long enough to get through the agenda. And I think the whole formal dinner that happened at Versailles was not random either. You know, that place carries historic symbolism for France and America.
Woo-hoo. Yes, sir.
Especially with France's role in supporting the American Revolution.
And you know Trump loves some pomp and circumstance.
Oh, you know it. Did you see the clip when he walked in the room and everybody was there and he just stopped and was like, "Hey, I'm the boss." And everybody just kind of laughed. And I was like, bro, Macron said, "Look, whatever he say, just smile,
just ignore,
and laugh, bro. Do not piss this man off." Right? So
I would love to see the group chat.
Oh, bro, you know the back messages were crazy, bro. They was nuts. So basically, Macron was basically saying we have history, we have an alliance, and we need to keep this relationship from falling apart. Now, depending on how you look at this, that is either smart diplomacy or some could say is political babysitting. So, Manny, I'll ask you, with Macron being strategic by giving Trump the royal treatment, was he being strategic in giving Trump the royal treatment, or was this world leaders learning that they have to manage Trump personally to get policy done?
Yes and yes. Next question. The U.S. is one of the biggest economies in the world. So yes, so we have to be engaged for any large. What we're talking about here, the 9 things that they put out are large scale things that don't necessarily work without the U.S. being involved and engaged in some capacity. Factored into all of that, Trump is a very transactional leader.
Yeah.
So knowing he loves the pomp and circumstance. Like, look, man, you got people coming over for the party. I'm gonna make sure their drinks and stuff. you cater for the people you're bringing into your house. And I think that's part of what you had to do and what you had to be prepared to do. And he did that. So good job. One Emmanuel to another. Good job.
Bro, I know when Trump left and got on that plane to go home, I know the sweat, the wiping of the sweat off his forehead was it had to be the biggest relief he had over the past 2 days, because he, strategically he definitely handled it. And I think that's part of what people really don't see when it comes to foreign policy. Foreign policy is not just countries dealing with countries. It's leaders dealing with leaders. And, when you have a leader's personality and their personal style is very unpredictable, the whole alliance has to adjust around that. And I think that that is just part of it being strategic. You can call it, political babysitting if you want. I think that is something that is very important and strategic in doing so. And that's reading the room. If I know that this is what I have to do in order to keep things moving and keep it together and build something out of this alliance, hey, if I got to do it for 2 days, I can do it for 2 days, bro.
We really just saw intergovernmental code switching.
Bruh, oh my God, yes.
Oh, that's top tier right there.
Yeah, bro. That was a good one, man. That was a good one.
There we go.
That was top tier.
So, so the biggest takeaways from the G7 summit is this. The world's richest democracies are trying to prove that they still can move forward together in a world that feels like they're pulling apart. They showed support for Ukraine. They tried to confront Russia without letting the war expand. They tried to prepare for China's economic power. They talked about critical materials, supply chains, and the future of technology. And they tried to show that even with Trump's unpredictable style, the alliance system can still function. But the big question in all of this, regardless of the fact, is whether this unity is real or whether it's temporary. Because it's one thing to agree in France. Yeah, we all sitting at the table, we all can agree. But it's another thing when we go back home. And you got to face voters, and you got to face corporations, and you got to face inflation, and you got to face elections, and still somehow follow through what was said at the table. So the G7 gave us the picture of unity. Now we get to see if they can provide the proof once everyone is gone home and have to deal with their own issues and circumstances on top of what globally needs to be done as an alliance. So be very interesting to see what happens. I know that Emmanuel feels good that I guess he can call it a success. He hosted a party.
Oh, he won. He won.
Yeah. He hosted a party, and the party went well. Nobody crashed the scene. Nobody tore nothing up. Just simply cleaned up, and everybody went home in one piece. So we'll see what happens now that everybody's back home. So any other details, anything else you guys want to cover about the G7 summit?
G7 is coming to the U.S. in 2027. So,
hey,
well, and Trump is hosting. So, oh yeah, let's
Trump. Let the boys get some passes or something, man.
Put me in the game, coach.
Bro.
We'll behave. We not that.
I mean, enough.
Yeah. Enough
not to get locked up.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And the boys, we know how to throw a party, man.
Do we know? Do we now?
Now, if to get our foot in the door, we just got to have a hospitality suite and just show y'all a good time.
Oh yeah, they might be mad at us. They might be mad at us. Boy, hospitality suite.
Bruh.
We from the South.
The South.
Yes, sir.
One thing we know is hospitality.
We know how to be very hospitable.
Yes, sir.
Look, have all the world leaders talking about some. Hey, who throwing the event tonight? Is it Partner Politics by chance? Oh yeah, we make sure we got them booked for you.
Where the Partner Politics boys at?
Bro.
They hit it down. All right,
yes,
I'm there.
Have Emmanuel Macron, what is this juice that you mix, Sir Jeezy?
Hey, we call that ape juice.
The juice of the ape?
We do not have that in France.
Hey, look, anytime you need to fly the boys out, I come make a batch for you right in France. No problem, brother.
Passport
set us up real nice. Yes, sir. Well, coming out of the G7 summit, The message from world leaders was supposed to be unity, stability, and control. But while they were trying to project order on the world stage, the U.S.-Iran situation is showing the opposite. Diplomacy is happening. Threats are still flying, and the Middle East is one mistake away from a wider war. So the next topic we will be talking about is the update on the U.S. and Iran war. But before I jump into my first part of that segment, I want to play a clip for you brothers. So
right.
if you would just lend me your ear for just a second.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Also, we run out of reserves in about 4 weeks. You know, there are reserves all over the world, and we would really run out. And there'll be a time when you wouldn't be able to get it. And you want to see Bedlam?
Excuse me, sir?
What?
Pardonnez-moi?
Bedlam.
What did you just say?
Run out?
Did you say run out?
Is this why y'all was stealing Iranian oil at night?
Bruh, it must be.
Chuck, Chuck, you called this out when this whole mess started, that the U.S. had made a critical error in not refilling all of our reserves before we decided to hop into this.
Yes, I did.
Bro.
And here we are.
And it's been reported that I believe they said the levels, our reserve levels, are as low as it's been since the 1980s. 70s, 80s, somewhere around there.
Before we were here.
Before I was born.
I ain't never seen this.
I ain't never seen the levels this low. But, you know, the first part of this, and Trump, that's a major problem. And again, we might have to call him party foul Trump, bro. Trump be making a whole lot of party fouls, bro.
A whole bunch of party fouls. You ain't have to tell that was business you ain't supposed to been telling.
Trump, hey, you know your kids. You have that little kid that'll just tell you way too much.
Like,
yeah, my mom and my daddy were fighting last night. You like, huh? Yeah, my dad came home late.
The house.
My mama said
mama said you smell like alcohol.
Something about glitter.
Hey, bro, some little kids will tell you they whole family business, bro. They be waiting to tell somebody.
My mama was yelling at him talking about some woman named Glenda.
And how my sister ain't really his.
Bruh.
Yo, hey.
Man.
Hey, teach your kids key family business at
discretion.
The house, bro. House business stay at the house, bro. But Trump definitely didn't have to say that at all. But that's probably might be the least of his words, depending on how these conversations go. Because right now, the U.S. and Iran are in talks in Switzerland, and of course, J.D. Vance is there. He's saying that there have been great progress, and has called the meeting historic. But at the same time, Trump has publicly warned Iran that if it does not stop its proxies in Lebanon, the U.S. can hit Iran again and harder. You know, Trump always got to big up the last thing he did. So that to me, that's a contradiction. One side of the administration is selling diplomacy, while the other side is keeping military threats on the table. That is not a clean peace process at all. This is diplomacy under pressure. So, Manny, I'll ask you, do you see Trump's threats as smart negotiation pressure, or does it make the peace talks look unstable before they even get real traction?
Were they ever stable? To begin with.
This is the equivalent of a wobbly chair leg, and you decide to lean back,
bro.
knowing that chair is unstable.
But good and well, just the mighty gust of wind could wrap this up. Take that
leg out. But go ahead, brother.
I don't think at any point anyone felt as though these talks were stable. I don't feel like at any point anyone had felt comfortable. But what we do know is that Trump is going to stay on brand at all times.
Oh, facts.
All times.
And some would say, oh, that's just Trump arguing from a state of unpredictability. Well, I don't like it. And I would very much like it to stop. I would like things to be more predictable.
Yes. But I think he is predictable with his arguments. He's quite predictable.
predictable that is not going to be predictable.
Yes, his unpredictability is exactly, Jeezy. It's very predictable.
Yeah. So and I think if you're in the U.S. administration at this point, you should be prepared that anything could happen at any time.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah, I think it was Manny who shared in the chat about the timeline for the hours of operation.
Yep.
When things are going smooth, when things are going bad, from 9:30 to 4, you knew what it was.
Yep.
And on the weekends, we know what it is. And like clockwork, the unpredictable nature of his words and his actions fell right on par with our hours of operation. And what's funny is this fool opened his mouth and said it. He came out of, I hate we don't have the clip, but he came out of his mouth and said, "Oh, we see that the stock market is going well when da-da-da-da-da-da, but when we don't, we see it takes a hit."
Mm-hmm.
If that is not another confession of insider training and improprietary action.
Oh, bro. What more proof do you need? From the president himself.
The Bible say out of the mouth of babes.
Yes,
his mind has reverted to babe status, because out of his mouth come the confessions of his heart, left and right
every time. Set a clock
every single time.
So it's very, very sad. But you know what was very funny to me? They're treating this Trump administration, Iran is treating this Trump administration and its negotiations like boys.
Yep.
And when I say that, it's that notion when someone uses, and I'm not saying boy as in boy man, I'm saying boy as in chumping them, as in very degrading. I was about to say degradation, but degrading in a degrading form. Boy, this is what y'all gonna do. Boy, y'all talking that talk over there, but boy, when you come in here, we know what it is.
We know what it is.
I saw a clip. JD Vance walks in the room. Well, excuse me. JD Vance showed up first. If you have leverage, you're not first in the room.
You get there when you're
gonna wait for me. You're gonna wait for me.
Yep.
But not only was he there first, when the Iranian representative gets there, he don't even acknowledge JD Vance.
Don't even acknowledge Vance.
Don't even shake his hand.
Nope. And he looking right embarrassed.
That's what we call sunning.
Yep.
The psychology of negotiations.
Yeah. And so
you would think that he would have read that chapter in The Art of the Deal. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, so it's very, very, very comical because at this point, there's a Jay-Z line for everything. We don't believe you. You need more people. Trump, and to the point when Iran was dropping all the AI videos and the memes and this, that, and the third on social media, they hit him with the Taco Tuesday. We don't believe you. You talking big and bad at this point. Your own homies, them guys over there in that little strip of land, they discrediting what you're saying. So what make you think we supposed to believe what you're saying?
And you talking a lot of talk, and you not even at the table.
Not even that.
You outside the club hollering. Bro, we can't hear you.
Hey, tell them I said.
No.
Chuck, I think as much as you say there's a Jay-Z line for everything, there's also a Trump tweet for everything, because it was just back in 2012 where Sir Donald John Trump said,
"Yes, sir.
Iran has never won a war, but has never lost a negotiation."
Hey,
and where are we?
Don't know if you saw the clip. They asked him about that. He said,
"You just ruined
that
streak."
He said, "Who said that?" He said, "You said." Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Well,
Pretty smart guy said that.
He has that reaction for stuff he just said last week as well. So
That's true.
We've seen that story before.
Well, inside of this negotiation, and of course, JD's there and Jared's there and Witkoff, which I'm gonna call them the Three Stooges.
Waste of time.
You sent the Three Stooges, and they constantly getting played. Which Trump has already said that depending on how the deal goes, if y'all don't like it, just blame JD, even though he got to sign off on it. Blame JD if you don't like it, which is classic. Throwing you under the Trump truck. But
always.
Lebanon has been a big issue in all of this. So Lebanon is now one of the biggest pressure points in this whole situation. As you all know, Israel and Hezbollah are still clashing, and Iran is using that conflict as part of its leverage in the negotiations. That matters because Trump is putting responsibility on Iran for what Hezbollah does. So now the question becomes, if Hezbollah acts, does the U.S. blame Iran directly? And if Israel keeps striking Lebanon, does Iran walk away from the deal? And this is where the war can really spread. Israel already told you. We hear what you're saying, U.S., but we don't care. We gonna still do what we doing, how we want to do it, and we have no plans of stopping any type of strike on South Lebanon. So, as that continues to spread, not from just one official declaration, but from everyone blaming someone else for the next strike. So Lebanon is the war inside the war, and it could either force a ceasefire or blow up the entire deal. So Chuck, I'm going to ask you, is Trump right to hold Iran responsible, Hezbollah, or is he giving himself an excuse to hit Iran again if things go bad in Lebanon?
Yes and yes. To pull Manny's card. Let me change that. No and yes. No, you're not right to, hold Iran accountable for Hezbollah and Lebanon. First and foremost, this wasn't even supposed to be your conflict. You were secondary.
Not even supposed to be here.
Not even supposed to be. How did you get here?
Shout out to Deborah Cox.
Yeah. But you were secondary. You got pulled into this by your buddy. And then your buddy said, all right, I'm going to sit back, let you do that, and I'm going to go over here and get these other folks. So go check your homie. Iran is trying to help their little homie out. I'm like, hey, tell your homie to leave him alone. We can set this deal up. And we can move forward. So what are you saying to Israel? What are you saying to Netanyahu about their actions in Lebanon? And to the point, they called you, for the lack of a better word, punks. Israel called the U.S. punks because
with a U or with an O?
Punks. It depends on the day. but essentially, they said that was your deal, not ours. We ain't agree to that.
We ain't agree to that.
We didn't agree to that. So how you gonna say something else? This is no different than a man cheating on his woman, and the woman getting mad at the woman. And I don't know you from a can of paint, or a carton of milk for the old folk. If you don't get that reference, Google it. I don't know you from a carton of milk. So how are you holding Iran accountable? Yes, we know that they say that they fund different terrorist organizations, this, that, and the third. But quite honestly, until Israel started messing around, Hezbollah and Lebanon had nothing to do with this conflict. They were out of it. Israel saw an opportunity to say, oh, the U.S. got them distracted. I'm going to shoot at you. Well, I'm going to shoot back. Look, as they say here in America, they ain't stopped making guns when they made yours.
Bruh.
Did not. Did not.
So hold your homie accountable. straighten your homie up. I can get my homie. Man, the relationship with me and my homie is good. If I be like, hey, homie, hold out, chill out. Let's get what we get into. We got it.
Yep.
But you got the hot head over there. You have the unstable homie who can't, number one, mind their business. Number two, leave other people alone. Just leave them alone.
Right.
They won't messing with you or nothing.
They won't do it. Like, yes, y'all got y'all beef and y'all had y'all conflict. But in that period of time, they won't bothering y'all. They were not bothering you.
Israel just be looking for something to do.
It's one of those situations. I think
bad
that
kid.
Well, my girl always say, find you some business, man. The TNT.
The TNT.
I think we are at the state in this conflict war, whatever we're calling it now, because I still don't believe it's ever been officially declared a war by Congress. But
them bums.
Where now it is defined as this: little brother is fighting another little kid, and Israel is acting like, oh, I'm gonna go get my big brother, the United States, and then Lebanon / Hezbollah is like, well, I'm gonna go get my big brother. Now it's a situation where the two big brothers are talking. They figured out everything, and we're looking at Iran say, hey, control your people. And Iran's looking at us saying, hey, control your people.
It ain't my people, like you said. Up.
Right. And just, hey, I can't stop my people until your people stop. Y'all are antagonizing at this point. But I think it's also weird at this point because it's almost as if Israel is acting out because they've been cut out of this whole negotiation piece. From all the reports, they weren't involved in the negotiation. They got sent the deal after it got signed.
They
weren't involved because they didn't want a deal.
That's true.
They don't want to. They don't want a deal. They don't want to stop. They don't want.
I don't want peace. I want war.
I want war.
I declare war.
That's it. Their goal is annihilation. We were talking about regime change. Benjamin Netanyahu ain't say nothing about no regime change.
I ain't say nothing about no regime change.
I want to destroy.
I said it was up and it was stuck.
So why would I come to the table about a deal?
And I'm not even trying to make a deal.
Quite frankly, and we ain't even gotten to this deal yet. But yeah, like you said, man, I don't want a deal. I ain't trying to make no deal. The only deal I want is the deal of regret on your end for even stepping back, for shooting back at me, because I want to wipe you out.
Right.
Bro, I think when you, because we really, the hard part about this deal, to kind of segue into Chuck's comment, do we really even know what the deal is? And all of it sounds like us losing.
I'm about to say, we know what the deal is. The deal is, you said it, we're losing. Perfect. So I've been holding on to this moment. You set it up perfectly. Emmanuel Macaroon was the daycare worker with the bad kid, Donald J. Trump, and you did everything you could to entertain him, and you outsmarted him to sign a memorandum of understanding in Versailles Palace. And the world looked at this moment and pointed their finger and said, you big idiot.
Or in the words of Red Fox, you big dummy.
You big dummy.
And you got the questions immediately.
Because you have set up and signed what many are saying is a memorandum of surrender.
Yep.
When it boils down to it. In fact, there was a headline that said, this is the biggest signing of surrender at Versailles since Versailles. and for those who don't know what we're referencing, the Treaty of Versailles in 1919 that ended World War I. Go look it up. But it was a surrender. And if you go through this 14-point memorandum of understanding, this is a surrender because the JCPOA that Obama had established,
bro, let me tell you,
if you look at it side by side, first and foremost, Iran had agreed to not enrich their uranium. Iran had agreed to allow inspectors to come in.
Well, let's add an asterisk. There was an enrichment cap at 3.69%, which is enough for a peaceful program, not for the weapons grade.
Yeah,
that's not the
weapon grade at all.
Weapon grade, yeah. When I reference this, it's weapon grade. They can enrich it, and you can, power, your cities, and with 3.67%. My brother in previous episodes, go look it up, gave you the breakdown of the enrichment process and where you get to for weapons grade. You know when they started moving toward weapon grade uranium? When Trump came in and tore up the deal. And so just like anybody else, I know I would operate in this fashion. Oh, you're not going to stand on this agreement?
Let's run it up.
Let me do what I can do.
Tell them they're rich. Door wide open.
Set the printers on high. Yep. And let them run.
And so, in that fashion, you pushed them to this point. Because they were, by all accounts and measures, from your own intelligence folks, forget the Obama people, your intelligence folks went in and saw what was set up and confirmed.
They have been compliant.
That they have been compliant. Confirmed. Not speculation. Not guessing. This was confirmation that they had been compliant. But that wasn't good enough for you because your name wasn't on it. So what are we doing now? We're sitting in a position where we're coming out of pocket way more money. Y'all bemoaned and cried about the 1-point-something billion dollars
1.7
that Obama allowed them people. First off, it was their own money.
Their own money.
It was their own money. He ain't give them no new money. It was their money plus interest that we had held up. It's no different than if you had an account that was frozen, that was still gaining interest, and then it got unlocked or unfrozen, and it was given back to you. It's your own money. Now we're setting up what some have called a potential slush fund for Iran to rebuild them, and we can't even get reparations.
Right.
Look, Chuck, before you go any further,
let's go.
Gotta make up for the last episode. Let's go.
So this $300 billion fund from regional partners is a pool of money, as Chuck said, the slush fund, for them to invest in their own infrastructure. I said it online the day it was announced, and I still hold true to it now, is that this $300 billion is about to be paid by you and me and the rest of the citizens of the world, because how I believe ultimately this is going to be funded is and we've seen the talks ramp up over the last couple of days we've seen the language go from free passage from the Strait of Hormuz to now there being a toll. And they are going to use this toll to fund this $300 billion. And I think what's funny about a toll is if you go down by Charlotte, I believe it's I-77, the highway near Charlotte that has the toll route on it.
Is it 74?
74. I think it's 70 something. So let's go with 74. My Charlotte people correct me as you will.
It would have to be an even number because East and West are even, North and South are odd. That's a little lesson for y'all folks.
And the agreement with that is that, well, after we pay off this road, the tolls will come off. Well, ain't no one letting no free flowing money get away from them. So this is now a permanent tax that we'll see on all petroleum and all oil-based things now for eternity. And we're not just talking about prices at the pump. We're talking about medical impact. We're talking about impacts on food. We're talking
everything.
Everything is getting ready to be impacted. All because someone didn't have their name on something.
Simple as that.
Barack Obama came out and said that I'm doubtful that this, in reference to the deal, that it's significantly different from the agreement that we had with Iran. And from that side by side of what we understand of the MOU right now, you're right. Actually, he's wrong.
I'm about to say I disagree.
He's very wrong.
It is significantly different. It's very bad.
It's very
bad.
So, and here's the thing. This is just the MOU. Wait until we get to the details. Now, where the tinfoil hat is and the slush fund is what I really think is getting ready to happen is we're going to have a whole bunch of U.S. companies and contractors fighting for contracts to help rebuild Iran with U.S. dollars.
I don't know, brother. I like the direction that you're going.
Okay.
But here's the catch. Iran wants the U.S. out of the Middle East. Yep. Why would I allow their companies to come in and rebuild? And as we negotiate in this,
that's a good point.
What leverage does the U.S. have to say you have to allow our U.S. companies to come in to rebuild, to access these funds? I like it, but if we had a point of leverage,
we've already used it.
Exactly.
I think it'll be interesting when and if, because we keep seeing the deal come together and fall apart. So we don't know what the final deal could look like. Could we see this pool go from $300 billion to $500 billion with $200 billion earmarked for international companies?
And that possible. That's very possible.
Well, according to Trump, when he was questioned about the $300 billion, he said, "Hey, look, it's their money. Refroze it. At some point, I guess we got to unfreeze it."
What about the oil we stole?
But what's funny is in this 14-point MOU, there's points of lifting all sanctions and allowing them to sell oil in the market.
Free market. That won't end Obama's deal
at all.
It was
and giving them like $25 billion which that $25 billion is their money or assets that you're giving back to them on top of the $300 billion slush fund. But what's the funniest about all of this? There's nothing mentioned of getting rid of the uranium.
Nope.
But that's going to be negotiated at a later time, Chuck. It's a later time, man. Don't worry about it.
But Trump also said that. Trump also said, "Hey, I mean, it's buried so far down, with a mountain on top of it, might not even go get it because I mean they can't get to it."
But then what was funny? They can't get to it. How you think he got down there underneath the mountain,
bro? Thank you.
Everyone got bulldozers.
First of all, how do you know the uranium is where you think it's buried up under that mountain anyway? Because there's been reports that when they got wind of you coming to strike, and they had started moving it already.
They moved.
Pack it up. Pack it up.
Pack it up. Let's go.
And then did y'all hear him when he said, "Well, they got a right to have arms because everybody else got them, so why can't they have
about
them?"
The ballistic missiles? Yeah.
I was like,
bruh.
Huh? Yeah.
This man is so desperate for the bleeding to stop,
bro.
That
straight hemorrhage.
He is willing to do whatever it's going to take
I think at this point he has to realize that at this point you've lost just about all leverage. If there's any left, I mean, it's just a little bit left on the bone, but it ain't much. At this point, it doesn't matter what you do to end this, you're gonna lose regardless. You've gotten yourself in that position. Like you're down,
but you're not up.
In the words of a great coach from Hey Arnold. At this point, bro, you almost at the mercy rule at this point. Because I just don't see how you can come out of this and look like America, or you from a leadership perspective handled this properly, accordingly, strategically, and somehow came out with America being in a better position. I think that if I'm looking at all the world leaders, if I was at that G7, I probably would have cussed Trump out, because you made the block hot for no reason. And now that Iran knows, okay, we had this Trump card, no pun intended, and we played this with the Strait, and we seen globally what control we had and how we were able to disrupt things. Oh, bro, I'm feeling real good about myself right now.
Oh, yeah.
Very
real good about myself in my position right now. Now I realize I can hold some cards and mess all of this up. And now that I'm in that position, when it comes to a deal, let's get Iran back on the map. Let's free up that money. Mm-hmm. Oh, and on top of that, you gonna help us rebuild too. Oh, on top of that, and we want to sell oil on the market too. Oh, and after 60 days, we gonna charge a toll as well too. Bro, what?
Yeah.
When we had no issue to start.
Well,
and on top of that,
he working too hard, bro.
We've set our entire global infrastructure back at least 5 years.
Oh, bro.
At least 5 to 6 years. In the best case scenario.
In best case, yes.
There have been reports about how long it'll take for us to recover from what has happened in this quote unquote war. But I don't even think that will even happen if Iran is able to do what they're able to do with the Strait and with the tolls and everything else and what they're able to control. You're going to kick that date way more down the road than what you expected it to be and what they projected it to be. Because, I mean, now everything's changed. It will never get back to what it originally was.
Now, I also hear, not here, this is also my other thought on this. In 5 to 10 years, you look at Saudi Arabia, you look at Qatar, you look at the rest of the Middle East, you know that they're all thinking, oh no, this is not happening again.
I was just going to say that, brother.
All the other infrastructure. So while Iran, I think, is definitely going to have the leverage right now, I think these other countries are definitely also going to respond with pipelines and other things popping up in the Middle East to also cycle Iran out of this to at least some degree.
The Saudis definitely are not feeling this.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Definitely not feeling this. And you know who I don't feel bad for them, but I kind of have some sympathy for? Iraq.
Right.
Because they getting left behind.
Yep,
bro.
They are getting left behind, and it's crazy. But yeah.
Well, I think that when you look at all this, you know, the talks are still going on right now as we record this podcast.
I believe, because there are reports that the talks have stalled and that the Iranians are leaving.
Yeah, I think they were saying they were calling them home. Hey, don't even worry about it, dog. We ain't about to play these games with them. They need us. We don't need them.
Israeli military raids killed at least 7 people in Lebanon on Sunday.
Yeah, y'all can hang that up.
Yep. Until you can get your little cousin under control. Because I wouldn't even say Israel is our little brother. Your little brother.
That's why I call him the little homie.
Yeah, your little brother wouldn't put you in no situation like that. Y'all live together, but your cousin. Your cousin definitely might play by a different card. Right. So, and you know, Iran's packed it up and gone home. And, you know, the message will be again this week of how terrible the Americans look in trying to do anything or get anywhere near a deal done. And, right now, Iran has the oxygen in the chest. They got it puffed out. And rightfully so, because they are controlling. They're sunning the U.S. and JD isn't doing a good job of trying to come back home and explain it. And I think that's why you see Trump pointing the finger at him. I can't explain it because it don't make sense to me either. I'm just gonna keep telling y'all how better this deal is than Obama. And when I heard Trump start doing that and push that notion out, I said this deal ain't better than Obama's deal. It's not.
Hey, Manny. We're gonna finish this off with the cap one more time. One more time.
Here we go.
Do we have it, brother? And let's go.
JD is sabotaging this deal on purpose. And you know why?
I'm intrigued. Yes.
Hold on, look, I'm intrigued. I gotta hear it. Because I'm Chuck, I kind of felt a little bit like that too, but I was like, maybe it's just late and I need to go to sleep. I need a nap. I'm tripping.
Now, I know when I say that what direction you all are thinking.
Okay.
And it could very well be as well. But I'm the chairman of Chaos.
Hey.
JD ain't trying to go home to that pregnant wife of his.
I did not think you were going this route.
Right.
I told you.
Plausible.
Right.
Plausible.
They got her from the Iranians got her from that table. JD said, I'm not trying to go home. Y'all sit back down.
Sit down.
I got Airbnb for one more night. I'll tell you a fool, bro.
But then we also had the other reasons as well. Because what we say, we don't trust a man who ain't going by his real name.
Don't go by his real name.
Josephus Daniels.
And I'm
Vance.
certainly not trusting Jared at all either.
Oh, and nothing about Jared says trustworthy.
The only thing that he might be as worse of a transactional person than Trump is. He is only there just to see what can I get my hand on.
What can I get? Yep.
And once he hear what he hears that benefits him, he ain't thinking about nothing else. That's why that deal terrible.
Got mine.
Yes, sir.
Well, man, we'll see. As of right now, the deal has gone cold. As BB King would say, the thrill is gone. Thrill is gone away.
It's going away. Yes,
Well, that is where we are at now with this U.S. And it's crazy how in the world it became the U.S. and Iran war when we didn't start it to begin with. Israel didn't
start the fire,
bruh. Israel just crept right out the door like, okay, while y'all doing that, we're gonna go over here to Lebanon.
Hit that Homer Simpson into the bushes.
Yep. Well, that is our coverage of the U.S. And Israel and Iran and Lebanon and Hezbollah and everybody else war that's going on in the Middle East. And look, in Iran, I'm like, bro, I feel bad for Iran because they said they're coming over here to the World Cup and they keep making their travel plans all hectic and everything with everything that's going on. And
man, I do feel bad for those players.
Yeah,
man.
it's like, bro,
having to fly out of Mexico for every match and all your matches in the U.S. Bro, it's terrible.
The recovery, they're like, bro, we can't even recover. Like, we can't even recover like we need to because we got these insane travel plans. So. But then the U.S. came out and said, well, they knew that was the travel plan that was going to happen. I don't believe that, but I think it's just retaliatory. But
just because I know that's what the travel plans are, nobody else is right. Exactly. Nobody else has to follow this travel plan.
Yeah,
we are here for a reason. We qualified. Yep. You made a deal with FIFA to hold the games.
These are the rules.
Like you just being a dickhead about it.
Yep. It's not called for. Let them enjoy it. Well, I mean, now Iran, the one thing that might benefit you, the food in Cali. You might enjoy the delicacies in Mexico a little bit better. Just don't drink that water.
Don't drink
the water.
Drink the water with the worm.
Unless you want to clean your system out, then don't drink that water.
And you will not be in that next match because you're gonna be dehydrated.
Bruh. So we've reached that point of our episode that we are at the pickle pickle of the week, man, and we got something pretty interesting. First of all, I got to cue the music.
When I get us all into the biggest pickle any of us had ever seen.
Now, with this pickle, it's been something that we've mentioned before here on the podcast. So nothing new per se, but it's a new, I guess, development in something that we mentioned before. And the pickle of the week is going to go to, and I think this may be a first, but it's going to the United States intelligence community.
Uh-oh.
That's not one person, not one agency. The whole intelligence world is in the jar this week. Because at a time when America is dealing with wars, we got cyber threats, we got surveillance debates, and there's also a deep mistrust in the government. The intelligence community now finds itself in another political storm. And this one is coming from the top. As you know, we have mentioned the acting director of national intelligence, Bill Pulte, is leading. He's acting director since Tulsi Gabbard has resigned, stepped down, fired, whatever actually truly really happened. We don't know, but she stepped down, and now Bill Pulte is the acting director. We talked about Clayton was nominated by Trump. But now that confirmation has been stalled. It's been put on the back burner. So Bill is temporarily overseeing the agencies responsible for gathering and coordinating some of the most sensitive information in the country. And the thing about this that has been very interesting is that first he showed up to the job early. On time for him to start just yet, but he showed up early. Some people may say, hey, that's good to show up to work early. Not in this case. No.
The eager beaver always breaks the dam.
Bro. Well, he showed up early and is reporting that he is moving forward with trying to fire hundreds of people inside the office of the director of national intelligence. So people, that's not a small move. And I think that if history would serve us well, whenever this administration has ever done massive cuts of getting rid of a large number of people,
it's always gone perfectly.
Oh, brother, it has seamless. I mean, I've heard words like seamless come to mind, brother. Efficient, effective. Yeah. Brother, no.
Ain't no problem.
It never goes well. It never goes well. So when you're talking about firing hundreds of people in the intelligence world, people are going to pay attention to that because it's not just another government office. We're talking about national security. These are people that are involved with intelligence briefings, foreign threats assessments, cyber warnings, surveillance issues, and information that helps us shape decisions before the public eye ever sees them. Think about that. And your first act of coming in as acting, first of all, you're acting, sir. Stop acting like you're the real. You're not the actual director. You're acting. Typically,
you ain't my daddy,
bro. Thank you, bro. You ain't my daddy. Typically, in acting, you just come in to try to maintain until the actual person gets here.
Exactly,
bro. You don't no, bro. You can't be acting and coming in like you for real. Like, so when you think about this, the question becomes simple: is this reform or is it retaliation? That's the pickle, because we know he's a loyalist. Because I do believe government, and first of all, I want to make sure we know that I do believe government needs accountability.
Yes, sir.
Not saying that. I don't think any of us would disagree with that at all.
Not at all.
The intelligence community should not be above criticism. I'm sure there are some things that they need to clean up. These agencies have made mistakes before, and quite frankly, they've made some big ones. Mistakes have damaged trust with the American people. We get that. So I'm not saying that every agency is perfect. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying that every job should be protected forever. Probably need some cuts. I'm not saying that the intelligence should operate without oversight. I'm not saying it at all. But there is a difference between oversight and a freaking purge.
Right.
That's what we have going on. There's a difference between cleaning house and creating fear because you don't align with Trump. Yep. There's a difference between wanting better intelligence and only wanting intelligence that agrees with you. There's a difference. That is where this thing is starting to get dangerous, because the intelligence is supposed to tell the truth even when the truth is an inconvenience. If the facts do not line up with the politics, the facts still have to matter. Once intelligence becomes about loyalty instead of accuracy, guess what, y'all? We got a problem. A serious problem. So that's why the intelligence community is in the jar this week, man. They facing a true crisis right now from every direction, and Bill Pulte is coming in with a big axe. And we know once that happens, at a critical time like this, it's the wrong time to be doing something like this. So
we don't have anything else going on to worry about.
Yeah, I guess not.
And they just going against each other with the FBI announcing stuff before national intelligence.
Just
an active investigation. You know,
it's just a joke, and the damage that will be done, and the workers in the intelligence community who take their job serious.
Yes.
And do their job with the utmost standard of realizing the importance of our intelligence community and what the service that it provides to us and our safety here in America, and the threats that we can prevent, that we can see beforehand coming. Now we're going to slash and cut hundreds of those people. Bill Pulte, you got to sit down somewhere, bro.
Another arena where you would hope that there was nonpartisan decision making and nonpartisan actions, national intelligence, because we are all American.
All American. This is not a loyalty party test. This is not somewhere where we need to be worried about right, left, Republican, Democrat at all. It is centered on national intelligence, bipartisan strictly. But like most most agencies that we're seeing under this administration, we're getting away from that.
Yes,
and
sir.
national intelligence, I'm telling you now, man, that scares me. When you think of us being lucky and not having, any major terrorist threats, or maybe we have and didn't know them and they were able to catch these things before they happened. Now that agency potentially is going to be gutted for no apparent reason but loyalty. I don't like it. I don't like it. So, intelligence community, y'all in the pickle, man. Y'all in the jar. And good luck. If there's anybody that has gotten any emails saying that their job may be on the line and want to air their grievances on a podcast, Partner Politics is here for you. We're here for you. So that is my pickle of the week. So at the end of our episode, guys, first of all, just want to take time to at least thank everybody for tuning in. I forgot to do my little pause right there to let that pickle of the week set in. So, Brother Manny, we're going to go ahead and get into our spotlights of the week. So at the end of our episode, we bring that topic up to you, and each one of us has something that we want to just shine a little light on and let you guys know what's going on in our political landscape. So I believe, Brother Manny, actually, you know what? Since I'm going, I'll go ahead and give my pickle of the week. How about that?
Okay. There you go.
So, excuse me, my spotlight of the week. Y'all forgive me. I apologize. I'm fumbling over my words. So, my spotlight of the week, man, it's been something I think everybody has been aware of that's been going on. It sounds like it's going to be something small at first, but it's pretty big. If you guys been watching the news, you've seen this beautiful reflecting pool that we have in D.C. Have you guys seen that?
Oh, so beautiful. Oh, so beautiful.
The most beautiful.
The most beautiful I've ever seen, brother. So the Lincoln Memorial Reflecting Pool is in D.C., and it's one of the most symbolic pieces of America. In America, it apparently is in pretty rough shape again. After the renovation,
already.
Already. $14 million later, actually, to be exact. The pool has been painted blue, refilled, and promoted as part of making the National Mall look better ahead of America's 250th birthday. But almost immediately, the water started turning green from algae. The paint looked uneven. And now there are reports of it being drained again for repairs. And if you've seen videos that people have actually walked by and actually been able to pull up some of the blue paint that has been coming up. Even one gentleman who was an Olympian was arrested this past week they accused him of vandalizing the pool. And President Trump has even tweeted saying that the pool is going to be repaired due to serious and severe vandalism that has taken place. sir. No, nobody vandalized. If anybody vandalized it, it was whoever you paid that company for that buddy of yours that painted that pool, that terrible Sherman Williams paint that won't meant to be on the bottom of that pool. That's who vandalized it, the people who painted it. So, people are saying, you may just say for my spotlight that, man, it's just a pool, but that is exactly why it matters. Because it's not just any pool, it's the reflecting pool. It sits between the Lincoln Memorial and the Washington Monument, and it is tied to some of the most powerful images in American history: civil rights, national grief, protests, patriotism, and the idea that America should be able to look at itself honestly. And right now, what is it reflecting? A rush paint job, a big price tag, political finger pointing, accusations of vandalism, algae growing through the image of what's supposed to look clean, bright, and patriotic. And I'm bringing this as my spotlight because that pool is a reflection of what America is right now. We keep trying to paint over problems instead of fixing what is underneath. We want the surface to look beautiful, but the foundation is still cracked. We want the picture to be perfect for the celebration, but the water underneath is telling the truth. This country loves symbolism. We love flags, monuments, ceremonies, speeches, military flyovers, and patriotic colors. But sometimes we focus so much on the presentation of America that we ignore the condition of America. And that is what this reflecting pool story feels like. You can't paint over your way out of neglect. You can't pressure wash your way out of dysfunction. You can't renovate the symbol while ignoring the substance. So what that pool is reflecting is the state of our politics, the state of America. So maybe the question is not just what happened to the pool. Maybe the real question is, what happened to us? How do we as a country get to this point where our image matters more than our integrity? Where the paint matters more than the plumbing, where the celebration matters more than the condition of the people living under the flag. It shows us that the country that keeps spending big money to look restored is forgetting that all the while the same problems are on the bottom and they're going to continue to rise to the surface. $14 million wasted to protect an image rather than servicing, fixing, restoring the foundation. Maybe if you take care of that, the reflection pool will look like what America's supposed to look like and not its current condition of what it looks like today. So that's my spotlight of the week. Little mirror check, little heart check, little self-examination.
Now, at this time, I would ask everybody to stand as we pass the collection plate. That boy got it in his bag, well, I tell you. And it's crazy. I was, I think it was on Twitter, and the expert, was critiquing the painting of the bottom of the pool, because one of the things that Trump liked to quip about in regards to the pool was it was leaking. And he said that it wasn't leaking. It was actually a natural filtration process that the water would seep through to keep, because technically it's a pool of standing water. And if if you paid attention to biology class, standing water will form algae in the bacteria. Well, this natural filtration process of the water leaking out and then putting more water in was the flowing of the water. So it minimized the amount of algae that would grow in the reflecting pool. Furthermore, when you put that coat of paint on there,
you stop the leaking.
You stop the leaking. Stop the leaking. You saw what we got. And poor Plucky Duck.
R.I.P. Plucky.
R.I.P. Plucky Duck. So yeah, man, that you were spot on. Where it is a true reflection of where we are currently as a country.
Great word, we gotta waste more money. We gotta waste more money.
Waste more money. Waste more. Wait Again,
That's all good. We got it.
And I guarantee you, it's gonna look worse.
It's gonna look worse because we got it for a pool.
We got to get it before 250. So what is it, about 2 weeks?
We got it for a pool, but can't put no little kiddie pool at the daycare and send these children to daycare.
Bruh.
Shaking my head.
I was just weakened when they put the hydrogen peroxide in, and I said, "You do know what that does to paint, right?"
The answer to that is no. They had no idea.
Right. How many people didn't pay attention in biology, Chuck?
Bruh, a slew. Bruh,
well, when you hire a contractor
who's a convicted felon,
I won't even say because it's the convicted felon who has never done a job of that size on that structure of that scale. We have processes. We have processes, and had you followed the process,
maybe we're in a different scenario.
No bid contracts are not a part of the process,
bruh.
But what do we know?
Well, I will pass the spotlight baton to my brother Chuck.
Yes, sir.
Spotlight for the week.
My spotlight for the week. Can y'all see that?
Yes, sir. ATL. We are Atlanta.
We are Atlanta. That is my FIFA 2026 garage. Shout out to the World Cup. It's been amazing. That is not my spotlight, though. My spotlight is on Georgia. This past week, we had our runoff elections for the Republican nominee for governor, as well as the Republican nominee for the U.S. Senate seat, and a few others in this space. Excuse me. And to the shock of some people, Rick Jackson defeated Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones for the Republican nomination. Rick Jackson, the billionaire, who spent $100 million of his own money in his campaign. I'm sorry, y'all. Rick Jackson, who came out with an ad featuring his grandchildren. And the ad had his grandchildren sitting on the couch with him. And I'll say it. I'm assuming those are his grandchildren. At first, I thought it might have been his grandchildren's friends because there's two kids who have some Asian descent in their bloodline who are also on the couch. And the question is asked, Grandpa, why do you look so mean in your ad? And we all know what ad they're referencing. The one where he said, either you're going to be deported or disappear.
Mm-hmm.
So they said, we're going to put a truck in your ad and we're going to dress you up. And he referenced this ad in his victory speech, talking about how his grandchildren gave him the greatest ad ever because they had to soften up his appearance after such a vitriol and vile ad. I don't care who you are. We were a proper people when our politicians had some level of decorum. Facts. Even in the mudslinging, there was a level that you could not cross.
Bare minimums.
Like you're talking about offing people in a political ad for the highest seat in the state of Georgia. Think about that. So now we have Rick Jackson versus Keisha Lance Bottom, the former mayor of Atlanta, who has a chance to not only be the first black woman to be the governor, but she can be the first black woman to be a governor of a state in the entire U.S. Then you have Mike Collins, who defeated Derek Dooley, let me go back to governor real quick. It was very interesting. Burt Jones had Trump's endorsement. And at the 11th hour, Burt Jones got the endorsement of Brian Kemp, who is the current sitting governor, although he is buddy-buddy with Rick Jackson. So that was very interesting. As we move to the U.S. Senate seat, that is going to be very vital and very important. Mike Collins, who has his own malfeasance about himself and certain ethics questions, won the nomination over Derek Dooley, Derek Dooley had Brian Kemp's endorsement. Mike Collins had Donald Trump's endorsement. And he will be going up against John Ossoff. So it will be a very interesting race. John Ossoff is gaining a lot of momentum outside of just the Senate seat, where some are looking at him for the possible 2028 nomination. I say get your hands off of him and leave him alone, because he's more valuable in that Senate seat versus looking to be the 2028 nominee, unless Keisha wins.
Yep.
If Keisha wins, she gets to appoint whoever fills that seat until the term is up, then that's a different conversation. There are other positions on the state level that were important, like 2 state senators won their runoff for the Democratic and Republican side, who are going up for lieutenant governor. But what also happened this past week that was very, very interesting in the state of Georgia is the state GOP told Brian Kemp they would not, and I repeat, they would not consider doing redistricting of the lines. Brian Kemp, if many of you remember, stated that after the Supreme Court ruling, he wasn't going to call for a session immediately to redraw the lines because we were so close to our primary elections. And so it will push that further down the road for 2028. Well, that further down the road came, and he called a special session. And the Republicans was like, hold up, wait a minute.
Something ain't right here.
Something ain't right here. So they cited several things. Number one, some of them, and I'll say some, saw that redistricting wasn't right. It's probably a small percentage, but it was some of them who said that. Then they had some who said, you're talking about holding this special session right around runoffs. We still got November coming. And the redistricting does not go into effect until the time for 2028. So if we do this now, you're putting us in a very precarious situation going into the general election. And then some, of course, follow the money, saying it's too expensive. Will it really be worth it to redistrict? Because as stated before, outside of Savannah, Columbus, and Atlanta, the state is pretty red. And when I say Atlanta in the metro area. You have some pockets here and there that pop up blue, but overall, those are the 3 main areas. And they may be able to do something in the Savannah, Columbus area. They really would be shooting themselves in the foot trying to break up the Atlanta metro area. So we've told you before, in retrospect, when you try to redistrict and break down these lines even more, you start watering down your power. So there was some sensibility for whatever each individual person came to the conclusion, but overall, they said, no, we're going to leave this redistricting alone. And I think I don't want to call, well, I guess he is a lame duck because he's coming to the end of his term. He really had no bite to that bark of the redistricting. And they sent a letter back to him saying, nah, bro, you can keep that. We're not moving in that direction. So it's a very interesting time in this election period for Georgia. I can't say that I'm enthusiastic about the political ads that's about to come, because if you were here, and I've even brought it up here, Rick Jackson has his own money. And he flooded television with ads left and right. Flooded any area that he could have an ad pop up. It was there. So there's a challenge ahead of Keisha, and we're going to see if she's up to the challenge. Because I'm going to be honest with you, if he's elected, I'm scared. That's another billionaire holding the highest seat. And we see how that's going right now for the country.
Mm-hmm.
It's my spotlight.
It's going well, man. Everything's good.
It's excellent. For his
Perfect. Perfect. Some might say.
All right. Well, Brother Manny, you're left on the spotlight, brother. What do you have?
Yeah. So I'm here to talk about the court case that was decided on the Supreme Court case that was decided on the 18th of last week. And that is TM versus the University of Maryland Medical System Corporation. And you're like, oh, what happened? We didn't really hear a lot about this. Well, basically, this was I won't say a landmark decision, but it was a pretty important decision that basically said if you lose in state court, even if what you lost was a settlement that you got forced into and you're still appealing that loss in the state court system, you cannot go and ask a federal judge to redo it at the same time. Basically saying that you had to figure out your case at the state level and then let it flow up. So one case at a time, one court at a time. So what happened? So the plaintiff here, who goes by TM, who has a gluten who says she has a gluten ingestion issue that can cause psychotic episodes. She ends up in the hospital, and after some consulting and a hearing, she is involuntarily committed over both her and her father's objections. She spent about 3 months in a facility with her treating psychiatrist and the medical. They saw it and got an approval to force her to take injections. Independent psychiatrist later on then said she no longer needs inpatient care. TM and the hospital, they work together. They get her, they negotiate her release, and the state enters it as a consent order. The new psychiatrist tells her to stay on her meds, and they drop all the other claims. So she ends up suing. She sues in federal court, calling the consent order unconstitutional, and that she was basically forced to sign it under stress. In that same time span, the plaintiff separately appealed that same consent order in a Maryland state appellate court. And that's where it still sits right now from the appellate side. In July of 2024, a federal court dismisses her federal suit on its own cognitive, citing Rooker-Feldman. In June of 2025, the Fourth Circuit affirms the Rooker-Feldman bar of the suit, but actually vacates the with prejudice part. So if something's vacated with prejudice, it can't come up in any capacity, but they drop it. So from that, the plaintiff then petitions the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court argues to take it up. Well, on the 18th, a ruling came out. It was a 5-4 decision. And this is where things start getting a little bit interesting, because we know the makeup of our court and what we've seen happen over the last 4 years. In the majority opinion, and that was made up of Sotomayor, Alito, Kavanaugh, Ketanji Jackson, and Clarence Thomas voted in the majority. And writing in the dissent was Coney Barrett, John Roberts, Kagan, and Gorsuch. That's real strange for a lot of people. But I think the biggest thing that we can take from this piece and how they voted is with the Supreme Court, it's not always going to be a left versus right. And here we have institutionalists going against contextualists of the case. You know, the majority's instinct here was to really protect the boundaries of the state and federal courts, where the federal courts don't want to get involved if the state courts are still involved. Where on the dissenting part, the concern is really just the context of the case and looking at who this really benefits. Because in these situations, especially when you talk about, average person suing a major organizations have the money. Yeah, they have the money. They have the lawyers. We can take this for years. So it was really a concern that, are we shifting this? Her being forced to sign an order to get out of the hospital, it is, forcing her to do this. Like, she's not really making this of her own volition. And it could produce, and as we saw in this situation, it can force people to make decisions and not be able to get out of them. We're not just talking about, the medical case we're seeing here. If you have a custody fight, if there's an eviction, or in this case, we're talking about someone's psychiatric condition that has forced this situation. If you're in a state court and you're fighting it through the state court, no matter what the court is, you got to get it through the state. And that is a financial kind of burden on most people, especially if you're trying to, figure all this out. I think one of the benefits TM had is Elizabeth Prelogar. She was the former U.S. Solicitor General under the Biden administration, picked up the case pro bono. It's been her first case since leaving the government, and she wasn't even the original lawyer. So I think this is real interesting on two standpoints. One, you have a situation where you have the Supreme Court still showing that they're reading, that they're digging into cases, and this isn't always going to be a left and right thing. And I think that listeners at home, general public, you should feel good about that. The downside of that is that it sounds like, for me, and I'm not a lawyer, that there is a chance that her constitutional protections were violated here. And to be able to not challenge the fact that her constitutional rights had been impacted by this can be problematic long term, not only in this case, but other cases, thus making it more expensive to find different ways to fight this battle. So my spotlight is really not only about how we still need to watch the situations and how every court case that the Supreme Court judges on matters, even if it's not making major news rounds. But the other part of it is really the focus on that our Supreme Court is still working in some ways, where it's focusing on what it is and what they're signing and what's meant by here, and that you can have situations where you have Ketanji Brown and Clarence Thomas on the same side of an issue. And that is my spotlight of the week.
I love that this was done on an impartial basis.
Yeah.
As far as, that's what I want from my Supreme Court.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like, regardless of, what side you're on, that's fine. But let's have a nonpartisan decision-making process. Simple as that, man.
Yeah. I mean, 9 justices, 1 doctrine, and this was really just a vote that the court doesn't always split to go where we've, as the American public, have been trained to expect it to go.
Yeah.
Well, to our listeners, we've reached the end of this episode. So we appreciate you lending us your ear for the duration of this episode. As always, we hope that this episode finds you in the best place possible. And if don't nobody love you, just know the boys here at the pod, we love you. We love you. Fellas, all hearts and minds clear?
I would be remiss if we did not get out of here and congratulate the Carolina Hurricanes on becoming the 2026 Stanley Cup champions by eliminating the Vegas Golden Knights in 6 games.
Very much so. Very much so.
Shout out to the home state for bringing the ship home. And I don't know if y'all seen the videos from New York when they had their rally, but boy, New York They don't need to win another championship for
1,000 years, a millennium. Y'all don't know how to act.
Niggas don't know how to act, boy.
At all.
That was some foolishness. New York is a wild place, bro. It's a wild place. But shout out to New York.
Before we go, also the U.S. men's national team.
Yes, sir.
The World Cup overall, but the U.S. men's national team taking care of business, looking very unfamiliar to us.
Bro, I was about to say very unfamiliar. I don't know what I'm seeing.
I don't know, but I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. So
yes,
shout out to them. Shout out to the African nations that are showing out. Shout out to Cape Verde, Ivory Coast, Cote d'Ivoire, Cabo Verde, and the different. This has been a very exhilarating World Cup where we had our apprehensions. As we talked about at the beginning, the experience of those coming over and and encountering the delicacies of the U.S., but the games have been fantastic.
Yeah.
If you don't know, my good brother Jeezy and myself are very avid WNBA supporters and fans. Manny jumps in and has some I won't call him a fan, but he has some with the WNBA. But from the spectrum of G's and myself, we are fans of the game, even down to the college game for the women. And I must say for myself, the WNBA, the World Cup has been so exciting. I've kind of neglected the WNBA to start their season. Well, during this stretch, with the games on, because it's 3-4 games a day, and just it's been fantastic. But I just want to give them a shout out, especially Team USA, and let's see how they continue to progress in the tournament. Man, it's been fantastic.
Yeah, man. I hope they keep it up. It's definitely unfamiliar territory for watching. We typically get this excitement from the women's team, but having the men look, I mean, day and night in comparison to what we've seen in previous years, I hope it keeps going because the competition certainly will be tough going forward. So.
Oh, and finally, nobody's Fan Fest is rocking like Atlanta's Fan Fest. I'm just gonna say the city's on fire.
Shout out to the ATL. So, to our listeners, that is our episode. Like, share, follow, subscribe, all of that. If you're already doing it, find you, reach one, teach one. Get somebody, bring a friend. We got wings, we got drink in the bag. Make yourself at home, get comfortable.
Yes, sir.
Enjoy yourself. If there's anything that our listeners want to hear from us, any takes you want to hear from us, hit us up on our social media, DM us, email us, whatever. Reach out to us and say, hey, look, I want to know what Partner Politics thinks about this, and we'll do our best to do so. So please reach out. We love to hear from our fans, our listeners, those and our haters too. We got some haters out there too. So
I was gonna bring that up. Yes, sir. I was gonna bring that up. Yo, I want to pop off on that last videos and last clip. I'm down for some argument and debate. I'm down.
Yes, sir. So we love it all. So continue to share, continue to support, and we thank you for tuning in to another episode of Pardon the Politics podcast. So take care, world.